Hey all, welcome back. First, thank you for the feedback everyone provided last week. I'll do my best to always maintain as much detail as possible when doing repair videos. I'm editing this video while on a 1,300-mile passage, so if the voiceovers are a bit fuzzy, that's due to the boat and ocean noises. This week we'll get the ancillary items, some new, reinstalled on the mast. We'll get the upper ends of the new rigging installed, and then we'll get the mast back where it belongs. Last, we'll go through the steps of cutting and attaching the bottom ends of the new shrouds. It was a ton of work in the Dominican heat, but the outcome was exactly as I'd planned. I'm Amy, a Midwestern Kansan girl, and this is my boat, Maritopia. Having never stepped foot on a sailboat, I bought a $5,000 Facebook Marketplace worn-out 1973 Pearson and spent 2 years endlessly working on and learning from her. I've since foregone the conventional lifestyle and have started my solo sailing adventures with the goal to truly immerse myself into the vast diversities that our planet has to offer. My hope is that these videos will help spark the curiosity of others, which ignites the drive to truly live your own dreams. Hey, good morning from Luperon, Dominican Republic. Got some decent sleep last night, thank God. I needed it. I was running on fumes, but I'll show you what I've got done so far this morning. I haven't filmed a lot of it because I wanted to get it done. I needed to really hustle before the sun got brutally hot. So here, I'll show you. At some point, whenever someone did the standing rigging, this is the backstay. They put this on with no washer on it. So it's just the cotter pin holding it in that. So I'm gonna take the cotter pin out and put a washer in there and put the cotter pin back in, because that's just dumb. So I've already done this one. Someone did this exact same thing with this one. This is the forestay, the front one. So I took the cotter pin out, I put a flat washer on there, and now it's got the... Now if it pulls, if the pin tries to come out, all the weight is against the washer, not the cotter pin. This cotter pin was super close to bending and going through to the middle of this. And had that happened, the forestay would have just come off, and then the mast would have fallen, I'm positive. So I've got this one done. Now I'm gonna do the rear stay. See how easy that is? And now that there's a flat washer on there, if the pin tries to come out that way, the weight's not against the cotter pin, it's against the flat washer. This just makes sense. It made zero sense. Who installed it like that is beyond me, but it was dumb. I mean, yeah, it lasted for as long as it did, but they were just asking for problems, so now it's done the right way. But as with every day working out in this hot sun in the Dominican Republic, it's almost unbearable. So I'm trying to get this done. I've only got a little bit left to do before the mast is ready to go back in. And then I'll head back to the boat and turn the AC on for a while. As far as the standing rigging goes, I've got it all on. Here's one at the top. The other one is right there. I've got it already running through the spreader boots. I don't have it tightened here so that I can pull it. So I'll have to climb the mast and reattach that. I've got the lower stays on both sides. At the base, I'm gonna do something different. So I was going to put these turnbuckles on right now. The problem is I don't have the exact length that I need to cut the new stays. So I'm just gonna wait until the mast is back on. I'll cut the wire rope and install the turnbuckles after it's on the after the mast is back in. So right now it's just dead ends. These are all of the new wire rope stays. This one right here is the back stay, and I didn't do that. This was, someone at some point had already converted this to stay lock, so I don't have to do anything with it. And same with the front stay, the forestay. I don't have to do anything with this because it's already the right length. When the mast goes in, I will use the halyards to hold it side to side, and until I get the shrouds cut the length and the turnbuckles installed. So you can see I've got all the electric done. I'll put silicone in there. There's the spreader light, another spreader light, the steaming light. So this is the light that comes on when your engine is on in the nighttime, so that people can see that you're under power, that you have your engine on. Here's one of the things that Rolf and Mel brought me. It's a new mechanical Windex, wind track. The one on the boat right now is, or the one on the mast right now is worn out. Those telltales are gone, and the wind vane itself is it's plastic, and just over the years it's started falling apart. I'll show you that, but I want to take this apart and show it as well. This piece is you'll see when I show you the existing one that this piece is just really worn out on the boat right now. Telltales, those have fallen off long before I ever owned Maritopia. So it's harder to see it. So let's get this replaced. I've got it assembled, and here's the anti-bird thing, so that birds can't sit on it, and my current one doesn't have that. Put some Loctite on this joint. While we're here, if the wind is from there to there, it's not sailable. But if the wind is outside of either of those, it's sailable. So if the wind is inside of that, you're running into the irons, and your sails will just luff and do nothing. But if the wind is coming from that angle, your sails should be, well, if the wind is heavy enough, your sails should be full and you can sail, but anywhere between those you can't sail. I've got it assembled. Let's go remove the old one and put this new one on. So you can see there's no telltales on here, no red things, and you can see that this is broken, and you can see it's bent right there. There's no anti-bird, I don't know what else to call it. There's no thing, no post in here so birds can sit on there. But you can see it's broken. So, I don't like how the old one was being held in. Yeah, it worked for who knows how long, I'm sure quite a while. But the old one, the post just went in there. The new one came with this bracket. So what I'm gonna do, I've actually got cutoff wheels over here with me. I'm gonna cut this so it's flat, and then I'm gonna use the base that it came with. Let me do this the smart way. Well, the smart way would be to pay somebody else to be doing this work. So I guess let me rephrase. Let me do this the bit safer way. Well, that sucked. That didn't work how I planned. Well, I ended up having to take a little bit different route. I didn't like that round tube that the manual Windex was screwed to. it just wasn't sitting perfectly flat. So I found some angle iron. So I've already drilled the holes right here and here. I'm gonna use some Loctite and put it on. That'll be much better. I've already got the little bracket installed. So now I got to stand back there and kind of just eyeball it. Make sure that these are centered correctly, which of course they are not. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think I've got it ready to go back in. I didn't film a lot of it because it's just too hot. This is way hotter than Florida. And there's way more humid. But I've got the new manual wind vane on the new bracket that I put on. That's not round. Whoever put it on last time used a round pipe. And when I tightened it up against the top of the mast, it would roll down here, so the Windex wasn't at the right. It wasn't parallel to the mast. I got the anchor light back on. The electronic wind vane. I've got the new antenna that Ruff and Mel brought me. I soldered on a new coax fitting. I put a washer on here. I put a washer on here. I put a washer on here. I can't believe those didn't have washers. It's just beyond me how you would spend the time to put a standing rigging on and not put a washer on there. Look at the gap. And all that was holding that was the cotter pin. So now it's pulling up against the flat washer. It's just much better. And then going down, I've got the spreader boots on. I tied them on here, but not here or here, because the cap shroud needs to be able to move up and down through there. See how there's so much slack it's laying on the ground? So I'll have to wait to tie it on here and here until after the rigging is adjusted. Got the new rigging on the lowers, and of course the new rigging on the top. And then come down here, and I've got everything tied around the mast with this. So once everything is upright, I'll just cut this and let everything drape. But it's helping hold everything together right now until the crane hooks on it and gets the mast back up and down. So, oh, and last but not least, the whole reason I pulled the mast down was for these wires, which I've just got tied there right now. And I don't know that this will come through in the video, but there's wire ties all around everything. So those wire ties should stop it from swinging inside of the mast. It doesn't take much. And I think it helped that I ran them as two separate groups, so there's even more wire ties in there than there would have been had I ran all of the wires together. It's the following morning. Maritopia is back on the wall here at the work yard. The crane truck is there, and that is going back in that hole. Can't wait until this project is done. Then I can move on to stuff where I don't have to work outside in the sun. But here we go. Let's get this mast in. Mast is coming in. Just gonna set right there. Hey, top of the mast. Nope. Okay. All right, so that's in the cradle down there. I gotta go outside and tie some stuff. The mast is in. We got the back stay and the forestay on, and then side to side I just have halyards right now. He's up there unhooking the strap that they use to lift the mast. So now I need to get out of this slip right away before the tide goes back down. Well, I got the boat back on the mooring. After I got all of the halyards untangled, because I have halyards holding up the rig, I've got 5 of the stays on, or the shrouds. I've got 5 of the shrouds on. They're just loose. And we're working on the last one. So I've got it marked, and now I will put the cutoff wheel on, and my sunglasses. Gotta be safe. Let's cut it. So I purposely went slow so that I didn't burn the wire at the bottom, and I'll show you that after I take the tape off. Put the grinding wheel on. And let's clean this up a little bit. Alright, so I don't know if you could tell, but I was going really slow when I was cutting this. because you don't want to burn these ends. Once you burn metal, it weakens it. So I didn't want to burn the ends of here by cutting too fast. So we're ready to put this together. Put our socket on, loosen the wires, loosen the outer wires, put our cone in. Now we need to adjust those wires so that they're even around there and so that there's no wires that are in the groove of the cone. Put our live caulk in the base here. This is the majority of this job, is cleaning that live caulk off of your hands. Because if you don't immediately clean it, I promise it'll get everywhere. Now we'll put our Loctite, our thread locker on here. Together. Now we need to tighten that. And as has been the case with the other 5, halfway through tightening it, you gotta clean the caulk off. Because it gets everywhere. Let's see how it pushes that caulk out. Cleaned up pretty good. So now let's finish tightening it. So now that we tightened it more of that gooey stuff came out. So we gotta clean it again. Thread this in. And unthread this one. Now I'll put it on. I gotta hold it with the vice grips. And my vice grips are rusty, so I gotta use pliers to undo them. And now let's go ahead and tighten this up. So when you tighten this up, make sure you hold this upper piece so that you're not twisting, so that this doesn't twist. All right, that's good for now. So all 6 of our stays are on. The cotter pins, I've just bent one of the legs. I wanted to make it easy to get apart. I'll adjust them tomorrow. I'm going downstairs and relaxing. Good night, YouTube world. It's been a long day for me. I hope that everyone has had a great day. If you'd like to stay up to date and follow along with the adventures, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we'll finally button up the mast project when we get the new standing rigging adjusted, and then I climb the mast to complete a few minor tests that couldn't be completed before the mast was standing. After that, we'll take a much-needed break by taking a motorcycle ride with friends back to 27 Falls. This time, however, we do zip lining. And what a great time it was getting to know my fellow cruisers in Luperon.